The person that I used for the research project was my dad. He works at Shoppers in Port Hope, and I used him because he's very dedicated to what he does, so I thought he was a great idea for this project.
Can you give us a company overview and some job duties?
Sure. Currently, I work as a front store manager at Shoppers Drug Mart. I've been there for about a total of 10 years. I say right now, my job responsibilities are basically all of the day-to-day operations, including scheduling, payroll. With a 25-member team, I have to execute at a high level in stock, obviously trying to achieve the budget that they have provided us each and every year.
What are some main sources of stress in your workplace?
For myself, we are a model store, and we do get a lot of visits from our corporate office, from presidents, vice presidents, and I would say, with those stresses comes the labor that comes along with that. Making sure we kind of stay within that labor budget they assign to us to achieve those high excellence of operational standards, as well as the sales targets. We're a new store, only open about 2 years. So they do have high expectations for us to achieve within our community, especially if it's a newer location in a community. But we're achieving both those right now, which is great. And then lastly, kind of just mentioning, what I mentioned earlier is to be at a high level of execution means that you're always under a watchful eye from corporate. And for someone like myself, who I'm trying to achieve more in my career, that's something that I do put a lot of stress towards myself, but not to try to stress out my team. I think that's just one of the main things that I try to do is as long as they're my stressors and no one else's, then I think I've done my job well.
What are some wellness initiatives offered by the company to its employees?
I think most importantly, if I'm, trying to have, somebody work towards an employer that is good for them, I would say making sure there's benefits involved ideally. You never know when those things, are needed. So making sure that that's something you've done your research on. We do have an employee assistance program, EAP. I think it's very common within a lot of larger companies, but I've actually been part of encouraging someone to use it once, and I've actually used it once myself in my time as well. And it's nice to have that free offering of help. Also having, working in the pharmacy industry, having a pharmacy on duty at all times is very important. Not only for a first aid type standpoint, because they all have to be first aid trained, but it could be any type of minor ailment that you might have. Like whether you're having a tough migraine at work, what can I take for it? Or I'm having a little bit of cramp in my leg, what can I do for it? Having these professionals on hand is definitely something that I feel is definitely beneficial for myself. And also picking a company that has a good work and personal life balance is super important as well. And Shoppers Drug Mart definitely encourages us to turn off our phones when we're at home. We can never really be, disciplined for that. And I definitely encourage that for my employees as well. And then lastly, strong leadership. I think it's very important to have a company to work for. Even though I'm the front store manager, I still have to report to the pharmacist owner, the associate they're labeled as. And, when you have a strong leader, it encourages you to work harder, it encourages you to stay longer. And I think even combined, we try to do a good job of that. He monitors the pharmacy, even though it's my boss, and then he employs me to monitor the front shop, so those other 25 employees. And when we work together with the same common goal, I feel that we have a much better outcome. People work harder, people are happier at work. We provide that type of environment for them, I think, overall. I think, a lot of those things I mentioned, including, like I said, being a strong leader and encouraging and listening to them, allows you to provide a very good wellness environment overall.
Some initiatives that the company can take are team building exercises and social events. Something like a work dinner or rock climbing, for example, would be a good way for everyone to work together. My dad also mentioned that he has some wellness programs set up, but I think something like an app where you could journal or a meditation app would be very good for the employees. One more idea is that they could have healthy food in the break room for employees to have that don't cost any money, just if they need some brain food or anything.